Greetings to each of you listening to this scripture. It reminds me of this young lady from the past, asking me why her mother would say she was the hardest birth she experienced, and that's the reason why she felt she was the given the most burden in life because of the pain she experienced giving birth to her. Out of all her older siblings, well, I read this scripture to her in hopes it would give her better understanding and let her know she isn't a mistake. For protection and blessing, using a play on words, Jabez, the man of sorrow, asks God to keep him from that sorrow that his name recalled forebodes. So continue listening to the next presenter. I hope this brings anyone needing inspiration.
First Chronicles 4:9-10 is often called the prayer of Jabez. Here's a breakdown and description of the passage. Verse 9, 1 Chronicles 4:9. Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. His mother had named him Jabez, saying, I gave birth to him in pain. Jabez's name literally means sorrow or pain, because his mother experienced suffering when she gave birth to him. Despite the negative meaning of his name, the text highlights that he was more honorable than his brothers, suggesting that his character and faith distinguished him. Verse 10, 1 Chronicles 4:10, Jabez cried out to the God of Israel, Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm, so that I will be free from pain. And God granted his request. His prayer is fourfold blessing. He asked God for divine favor and goodness in his life. Enlarged territory. This can mean literal land, or more symbolically, greater influence, opportunities, and responsibilities. God's hand with him. He sought God's presence, power, and guidance, protection from harm, evil, so he would not cause or experience pain, redeeming the meaning of his name. God's response. The scripture concludes with the powerful line, and God granted his request. It shows that Jabez's faith and bold prayer pleased God. Overall description. This passage, though short, stands out in a long genealogical record because it highlights how someone whose life began with pain transformed his story through faith. It's often seen as a lesson on seeking God's blessing boldly, asking for divine expansion of purpose and opportunity, depending on God's presence for strength, trusting God for protection and deliverance from harm. Many believers use it as an example of how prayer can change the trajectory of one's life, no matter the circumstances of birth or background.